Hey, this is John from Mr. Pokemon Guiders. Today I'll be bringing you part 3 of the Pokemon Red walkthrough. In this episode, we will be going through Viridian Forest, which is the first place, like this part right here, that you actually face trainers other than Gary. Gary has some pretty good Pokemon, but these Pokemon are all bug Pokemon. They're in their first stage, like Weedle and Caterpie most of the time, and usually they're not that strong. The only time that they can become an annoyance, well, they're usually just an annoyance, but the only time they can become, like, an actual force is when Weedle poisons you with Poison Sting, which hurts you every single time you do anything. And it's not fun to be poisoned, especially when you're trying to get through a place like the Viridian Forest, because it's not really that long of a length, but there's a bunch of wild Pokemon, so you get caught up, and it takes a while, so you do lose a good amount of health from poison. You can go back to the Pokemon Center, however, to heal your Pokemon, and that's usually a good idea, but it does add on an extra, like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds to your time that you're trying to just get through it and just get it over with. But you can also carry on antidotes, which heal poison, and for some reason I did not buy any antidotes. I don't know why, but they would have come in a lot of handy. So, I'm going to be showing you there is 3 items in the Viridian Forest. One is a Pokeball, which I got in the first episode. Then the other one is an antidote, which will come in handy because it does heal poison. And the other one is a potion. I'll be showing you where each of them are, and a way to get through it faster. Because even though it's not long, Pokemon do show up in the grass, and it does add on some length. But there are some ways you can go through without running in through much grass. And I will be showing you each way to go, and it will help a lot. Just running away from the grass. It makes it go by a lot faster. But yeah, right here, my Charmander grows to level 8. Yeah, and I'm just trying to get my Caterpie up to level 7, I think is when it evolved into a Metapod. And I thought that Metapod learned Harden when you evolved it, but apparently it does not. Apparently the only way a Metapod can learn Harden is if you catch it as a Metapod. I don't really understand how that works, but yeah, see there, I leveled my Caterpie up, and now it's evolving into a Metapod. Metapod, it's good to have a Metapod because they evolve into Butterfree, and Butterfree is really helpful. But Metapod have really low attack stat, and they have a pretty good defense stat, especially if you catch them from the wild and they know Harden. You can gain their defensive stat up in the middle of a battle. But they do have a pretty good defensive stat, but they don't have good attack stat, so every time you use Tackle on any Pokemon, it doesn't do much damage. I'm pretty sure later on I take my my Metapod and fight like a level 2 Pidgey or something, and it just takes me forever to kill the level 2. But yeah, if you did see it, there was the antidote back there, and there's the potion right there. And this is the very last trainer in the Viridian Forest. He's probably the hardest just because there is a level 9 Weedle that he has, and that Weedle becomes a pain in the butt because it does use Poison Sting most of the time. I was really worried about my Charmander getting poisoned right here, but luckily Charmander didn't get poisoned, and now my Charmander's level 9. Which is, luckily, when Charmander learns his first typecasting move, Ember. Since Charmander's a fire type, obviously, the Ember would be a fire type. And fire is pretty good against most bug Pokemon, I'm pretty sure. And it's much stronger than Tackle, so it does come in a lot more handy. And see, this is my level 7 Metapod taking like 3 hits just to kill a level 2. I don't know why it took that long. I didn't think it would, but this time I know that it'll take forever, so I send out my Weedle, which I'm also wanting to evolve into a Beedrill, because Beedrill learns bug-type moves. Who is it? Butterfree. Butterfree does not learn, I'm pretty sure he's part bug-type, he's bug and flying, I'm pretty sure. But he doesn't really learn bug-type moves for some reason. Oh yeah, and it learns the 3 powders, like Sleep Powder. Well, it learns Sleep Powder and Poison Powder, and then it learns Stun Spore, I think it's what it's called. And Stun Spore paralyzes the enemy, which I think I explained what paralyze was in the last video. Poison is where you get hurt, and Sleep Powder puts the enemy Pokemon to sleep, where they cannot do anything at all. But Pokemon do eventually wake up on their own, so it does not last forever. Unfortunately, when you're facing an enemy, they can wake up on their own. But luckily for you, if your Pokemon is fast enough, the enemy will wake up, but they cannot attack that turn, so as soon as they wake up, you can just use Sleep Powder the next turn, and you'll be fine. yeah, right now I'm just trying to get my Metapod up. I think I'm getting into level 8, and we're getting towards the end of the video. I will see y'all next time on the 4th video, where we do where we beat the first gym, Brock, who's rocking ground. Alright, this is John from Mr. Pokemon Guiders, and I will see you next time.